Tight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining me. This is A Radio and the Morning Minute. I'm going to read out a comment from an MP that's on his Facebook page, and I'll leave you to make your mind up what you think about this. But I don't think it's as cut and dry as he thinks it is. And here's his comment. This week, the House of Commons will debate Motion 103, that's M103 to us, which condemns Islamophobia and instructs a Standing Committee on Canadian Heritage to study discrimination against Canadian Muslims, as well as other religious and racial groups. I will be voting in favour of M103 in light of this mass shooting at a Quebec Islamic Culture Centre in Quebec City last month, where 6 Muslims were killed and 19 were injured while they prayed in their mosque. It is appropriate and important that Canadian parliamentarians study the issue of anti-Muslim and anti-Islamic prejudice and discrimination. Some have suggested M103 singles out Canadian Muslims for special treatment. This is not true. The House of Commons has long had a tradition of passing motions denouncing discrimination and hatred against particular groups, especially religious minorities. For example, in recent years, House of Commons has adopted similar motions regarding Jews, February 22, 2016, Yazidis, 25th October 2016, and Egyptian Coptic Christians, October 17, 2011. Others have said Motion M103, it will set up a pathway towards Sharia law. This is not true. Motion M103 does not set us down a path to Sharia law in any way, shape or form. I do not support Sharia law, and I would never vote in favour of anything that set us down that path. Still, others have suggested that the motion could restrict free speech in Canada. These arguments are based on a premise that in denouncing Islamophobia, the motion also denounces criticism of radical Islamic terrorists and denounces criticism of Islam. This is not what the motion says. In denouncing Islamophobia, the motion is simply denouncing discrimination and prejudice against Muslims and people of the Islamic faith. Nothing more or less. Motion M103 will not prevent anyone from criticising Islam or radical Islamic terrorists. However, there are laws in Canada that do restrict free speech, in particular Section 319 of the Criminal Code, that restricts free speech by making it a criminal offence to incite or promote hatred against an identifiable group. This, in my view, is too great a restriction on free speech. In a free and democratic society, it is also creating fear among law-abiding Canadians about their ability to voice legitimate criticism regarding terrorism and religion. If elected leader by the Conservative Party as a Prime Minister, my government will repeal Section 319 of the Criminal Code. There has been a rise in hate speech in Canada, particularly on social media. However, the right way to combat hate speech is through free speech, not through the Criminal Code. This is why I have spoken out strongly against speech that breeds hate and fear. I believe that free speech is one of the fundamental rights on which our democracy is built. That is why I previously supported and spoke in favour of C-304, which repealed hate speech provisions of Section 13 of the Canadian Human Rights Act. Free speech, while not unlimited right, is a fundamental right in our free and democratic society. To the greatest extent possible, speech should not be restricted in order to ensure vigorous public debate and ensure that this debate is not driven underground. This is why I'm committed to repeal Section 319 of the Criminal Code. That was by Michael Chong, MP. Well, there you have it. I'm not sure where he's going with that, but my personal opinion is free speech is free speech. I'm not interested in any laws controlling it in any way. If there are any laws, which there appears to be, I did know there was, they should all be repealed. People should have the right to speak how they like. And if people don't like it, walk away. It's very easy to do. Walk away. Now, if somebody incites violence with speech, that's a different ballgame. Your thoughts? You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com. I'm on Twitter at @aradio-canada. I'm also on Facebook at @aradio-canada. I'm now on Gab at @aradio. You can email me at aradiocanada@gmail.com. And you can also listen to my morning minutes on Spreaker.com under A Radio. That's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click the like button. And you can also find all my podcasts and morning minutes at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Minutes tab.